Welcome to the Workamper Show, brought to you by Workamper.com. This podcast helps you discover how to finance your RV travel dreams. Each one of our episodes will introduce you to people who are already living the RV lifestyle or to work camping opportunities all around the U.S. You'll also learn how to hit the road the right way and make the most of every opportunity. Now let's turn over today's show to your host, Greg Gerber.
Welcome to this special edition of the Workamper Show. Today we're participating in a truly unique event called Podcasthon. This global initiative brings together podcasters from around the world. Each one of them dedicates an episode to shine a light on charitable organizations that are making a difference. The goal is to amplify the voices of nonprofits, share their challenges and triumphs, and inspire listeners all over the world to get involved. People can help with their donations, by volunteering, or simply spreading the word. For today's episode, I'm honored to feature two remarkable Workamper employers who operate nonprofit organizations. Each has a unique mission, but a common thread to help people connect with nature, community, and purpose. First, we'll be speaking with Lynne Swanson, a retired veterinarian and the director of Safe Harbor Farm. It is a beautiful 61-acre nature sanctuary in coastal North Carolina. What started as an animal shelter has evolved into a peaceful retreat for humans and wildlife. Today, the farm serves as a sanctuary for turtles, honeybees, and other critters. Through its GiveSmiles.org website, Lynne also provides tips on how dog owners can better communicate with their pets. From training beekeepers to maintaining nature trails and operating a private dog park, Safe Harbor Farm is a testament to the power of perseverance, volunteerism, and a love for the land. Developing the property for outdoor recreation has been a passion of Lynne's for many years, so let's jump right into my conversation with Lynne Swanson, the director of Safe Harbor Farm, to hear more about this incredible place. Thank you for joining me today, Lynne. I really appreciate it. It's quite an honor to talk to you again. I love Safe Harbor Farm and what it does for animals and people. So why don't you talk a little bit about what the farm does and how it came about?
At one point, we were an animal shelter, and we've been transitioning towards being more of a little nature center ever since. We've got 61 acres in coastal North Carolina and 2 miles of walking trails, a couple of ponds, and a 1-acre dog park. And right now, we're actually out on the trails. The we is myself and Nikki and John and Andrea. They are work camping volunteers. John and Nikki are coming back for their second year. And this morning, or actually this afternoon, we were shipping wood and we were pulling logs from the forest and we're cutting down the underbrush. And we are supervised by Spot the Chihuahua.
That's fun. You're creating trails at the park, even more than the ones you have?
When we bought the property in 2005, this was property that had been logged. So it was pretty much clear cut and there was just lots of trash trunks lying around and it was just haunted. It was a really sad piece of property. And one of the first things we did was establish where some trails were going to go. And the trails are for the shelter dogs and the volunteers. And when we made our transition to a nature center, it was very natural to expand upon the trails, to groom them. What we do is we level them and we ditch them and we rake them on out. And then we get recycled cardboard from some of the local furniture companies and put that down as a weed block. And then we cover it with a really thick layer of wood chips.
Oh, that's a fun idea. I guess that would keep the weeds out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it really works too.
So when you bought this property, there was nothing here. It was just a vision for you to create this center.
Pretty much. We were looking all around for a place on a hurricane evacuation route, and we were looking for at least 50 acres and something we could afford and something away from the water, but not too far from the beach, because of course we're a half an hour from the beach. And this was actually found for us. We scooped it up before it went on the market. And at first, as I said, it was a haunted piece of land. There were deer skeleton and bear skeleton and dog skeleton and tons of trash. People had just not loved this land. And we took it over and we just started working. And it's been all volunteer. Actually, I was one of the first 2 work campers to start it. It was just basically a couple of people who had a dream. And we were parked on an old logging road with no water, no electricity. know nothing for the first year. There was a local campground owner. The campground's no longer there, but and he let us go and fill up our tanks and take showers every day. And he was just wonderful. He got us through the first year before we actually got electric and sewer and water. And yes, we have that now. We've had that for years.
What prompted you to start Safe Harbor Farm?
I was going someplace else and I missed the ferry. And next thing I know, I'm talking to other people who have a whole bunch of feral cats. They needed to be spayed and neutered and they weren't getting any help. And so we stayed and we helped and came from there.
Okay. When did you open the property?
It was purchased 2005. We started putting buildings on it, digging the ponds and all the like about 2 years later. The first 4 or 5 years was just setting up the infrastructure. And then now we've got these wonderful buildings to use. We've got a work camping apartment. We have a work camping cabin. We have 2 RV sites. We're not a campground. We're definitely not a campground. We will have usually like 1 or 2 work campers at a time. That's it. Super quiet. Oh my gosh, super quiet. A little traffic in the background. That's about it. But
what kind of services do you provide?
Right now, most of what we're doing is training for new beekeepers because we have a very active apiary. We have right now 13 hives and we're specialized in horizontal hives, which are long hives. They're not your typical stacked box hives. So like we just had a group in the other day, I think 5 people learning about the hives, learning about the bees. We're doing a lot with honeybees.
Okay. Just because you're dedicated to helping ensure their survival and to make sure the bees flourish, because if they don't flourish, none of us do, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What other kind of services do you provide?
You talk about as our charitable mission?
Yes.
That part.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, our goal, we have the dog park, it's a membership park, and we hope to eventually have a small membership that enjoy it. I hope to eventually have birders come out, maybe some students on like a cross-country running team, because the trails, when they're finished, are going to be gorgeous. So we'll be open to anybody who just wants to come out and get some forest time, just wants to love up the land and just enjoy the peace and quiet, listen to the birds, learn something about honeybees. We might have school groups at some point. Being a very small group of volunteers right now, we're just working to fix it up. We kind of a bunch of crazy people with a dream, but eventually it will all come together.
Is the focus now shifting toward honeybees and their survival?
Oh, just nature in general and good vibes and the bees. And when I say good vibes, it's because Nikki here, you interviewed her about the laughter yoga.
Okay, that's right.
And yeah, so talk about really good vibes there and good energy, and it complements everything that we're doing here. So we're just a place where good people can come and just really put the cell phones away, put all the stressful stuff away, just breathe, just enjoy the forest, just walk. Andrea, one of our volunteers here, she walks 4 miles a day every day. And often when she's working, she'll say, oh, I logged 8 miles today. Because it's physical stuff here. We don't have an office. It's not office work. It's not store work. It's not retail work. It's basically getting out under the trees and being physical. And yeah, it's a state of mind more than anything else. And so we've got 2 40-year-olds, 2 60-somethings, and Spot 3.
I understand you are a turtle sanctuary as well.
Oh, I didn't forget the turtles. Oh my gosh. Nope. Yeah, we've got some box turtles and spotted turtles and certain sliders and not sea turtles. Now that's not too far away. People who visit and want to visit what Karen Beasley's doing with the sea turtles. But no, we just have the little, as I call them, my little dinosaurs. Lots of them.
Be rather far for the turtles to come from the sea to your facility.
Oh, and we would not be prepared for them. No, it's a different sort of place here.
I can imagine. You were working with dogs and cats at some point. Are you still doing that?
As far as the dog work goes, the behavioral work, people can still access .us, that website, and they'll learn about the behavior work that it's just out there basically to train the human side of the leash,
right,
so that the dog side of the leash can shine. All too often people, when they talk about dogs, they think, hey, we got to train the dog. But then you take a perfectly well-trained dog and you give it back to a person who doesn't understand how to communicate with their dog. and the importance of posture, position, movement, and energy. And then you don't get what you really want. The dog can't be as awesome as the dog could be, and the person may not be as happy with the situation. When that book that is still available, and it's all the money raised from its sale goes right to our nature center. So it's there. It's very user-friendly. People can open it up and read a couple chapters and recognize themselves between the pages and realize, oh my gosh, that's what I had to do. Or, oh, that's why that didn't work. Or, oh, I did this and I thought he knew what I meant, but he thinks I meant 180 degrees. It's different. And so this book is a really user-friendly way for people to get some help. And they can start reading it. It's on givesmiles.us. Because, of course, the dentist took the givesmiles.com.
I can imagine, yes. Okay. So that's a book that you wrote that you're using the proceeds from that to help fund the Nature Center.
Yeah, that book was like the fourth or fifth book I wrote. And that's the one that is, again, as I described, a lot of help for people who are just want to get the best out of their dogs, want to fine tune the dog's behavior so it's what they want.
Are you still training dog owners at the farm?
No, just beekeepers. We're training beekeepers now.
Okay. That's a definite
I'm
need.
67, Greg. I'm getting older. I feel a little late here.
That's good to know about the beekeepers. So are these folks coming from all over the country to learn how to raise bees?
Nope, these guys are local beekeepers when it comes to that. And workampers who come here, they're not expected to work with the bees, so they don't have to get anywhere near the apiary whatsoever. If they've got an interest, it's not included towards their work camping hours, but they're always welcome to come and to learn. John, who's right here with me, and when the first time he came, oh my gosh, we all realized he was a natural. We would get these swarms of bees in the tree and he'd call it. He'd be like, wait a minute, nope, there's a swarm up there and there's a one over there. And then when we got him down, they're like, oh, here's the queen. He'd do it like he was a queen bee himself at one point.
That's neat.
So yeah, we're looking forward this year to having fun doing the same thing.
So you're training local folks to do this. Is that your intention, is to try and get more people to have their own hives?
Yeah, we work with different bee clubs. There's 3 local bee clubs within a half hour from here.
Okay.
So we work with that, and our emphasis is education, teaching bee school every year.
How are you funded?
By donations. Just by donations. When we had the shelter and everything, we were funded by adoption fees and our spay-neuter clinic. But now it's just pretty much adoptions. It's sales of fees to new beekeepers and donations, I think I said. And what was the other one? Oh, of course, the canine behavior book is still out there and strong.
You are staffed entirely by volunteers, correct?
Oh, yeah. Right now, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 people on site, 2 RVs and 1 cabin. And it's quiet. We don't have like big crowds or anything like that. And it's just us playing in the forest.
What are some of the things the volunteers do for you?
Here, hey guys, what did we do today? Everybody. John and Nippy.
I was hedging and cutting down some kudzu, clearing some trails.
And Andrea?
Dragging logs through the forest.
Dragging logs through the forest.
And Spot, what did you do?
Eat Snooper lie.
Yes. He sat on the RV and made sure that everybody was working.
He sat on the golf cart. He thinks it's his.
That's fun. So the volunteers, do they stay on the farm?
Do they say yeah? Well, we have a few local volunteers who come on weekends. We've got a few regulars, very beloved regulars.
Okay. If people were interested in coming to spend some time on the farm, what are the requirements to be a volunteer, or the commitment that they must make to do?
For electric, water, and sewer site, it's 15 hours a week. And we are a fragrance-free, non-smoking facility, pretty much an adult facility. We don't really have kids come by. People who do really well here like physical activity. It's surprising how many people come and say, hey, I want to lose some weight. And after a couple months here, they'll go and say, oh, okay, I'm 12 pounds. I was 15 pounds. I've toned up. I feel good.
Okay.
Yeah, they can go to safeharborfarm.org and get some information on our work camping page and see some pictures of the place. And also there's links there to some videos. Basically, again, training the human side of the leash. People have trouble with dogs that pull on a walk, or if they have trouble with dogs that just shiver and shake at thunderstorms or that they're not very good with other dogs when they meet them. There's a whole bunch of free YouTube videos that are linked from that page where people can get some help. Plus a couple of lectures that I've done for animal shelters to get in depth in behavior. And again, anybody can watch them.
We should note that you are a veterinarian.
Retired veterinarian, yeah.
Okay. So you have the knowledge and the experience to be able to advise people on those things.
Oh, I've been trained by many dogs.
You've been trained by many dogs. I love that. So if people...
They're the ultimate teachers.
They are. Exactly. They'll tell you everything.
If we're
right?
willing to listen.
That's right. They'll tell you everything, but you have to be willing to listen.
You have to be willing to listen.
And to understand the nuances. It's like having a child, right? That just speaks a little different language.
I think they're so much easier.
That could be. If people in the Maysville, North Carolina area wanted to stop by and spend some time at the farm, would they be welcome to do? And if so, what would it cost?
Again, we don't have a campground here for that kind of thing, but if people in the local area want to volunteer, all they need to do is go on the website. There is a volunteer application just to fill out, say hi, this is who they are and the days that they're available. And we get back to them usually within 12 hours, get back to them and say, hi, yeah, the weather's looking really good on Saturday or Tuesday or whatever. What's your availability?
If people just wanted to come hang out for a while to reconnect with nature and ground themselves, is there a day use ability there?
What we try to day use is for some reason, we've had a lot of people show up at 5 o'clock in the winter when there's 1 hour of daylight and say, can I have a day pass? And that's like the wildlife time because we do have wildlife here. We've got fox, we have some coyotes, we have some black bear. And so we don't really go out at dusk. So we haven't been encouraging the day use passes. Membership is $12 a month in 6-month increments. So it's not like it's a lot.
Okay, that's fair enough. So to get more information about the site, it is visit safeharborfarm.org.
You got it.
Super. Thank you very much, Lynne. I really appreciate the time and wish you the best of luck with this redesigned facility, studying bees and preserving them and helping others to learn to keep them as well. That's a great mission. I love that.
We have fun. Hey, guys, you going to say bye, guys? So everybody's here, wishing everybody and the Workamper News, sending a great big hug and wishing you all a good day.
Thank you very much. That was a fantastic conversation with Lynne Swanson about work being done at Safe Harbor Farm, not just for animals, but also for the environment and volunteers who give their time to help. If you're passionate about nature, turtles, honeybees, or just finding a peaceful escape, I encourage you to check out their work by visiting www.safeharborfarm.org. Now let's shift gears and head to the shores of Lake Huron in Michigan, where Bayshore Family Camp and Ministry has been serving families and faith-based communities for more than a century. Since 1911, Bayshore has been a destination for children and families, whether as individuals or small groups, to unplug, reconnect, and grow in their faith. With year-round retreats, a summer youth camp, and an upcoming family adventure park, Bayshore Family Camp provides a welcoming space where individuals and families can bond through shared experiences. To tell us more, I spoke with Jeff Parsons, the camp's director, about its history, mission, and exciting new plans for the future. Let's dive into that conversation right now. Thanks for joining me today, Jeff. I really appreciate it. How old is Bayshore Family Camp?
We were first established in 1911. That was a gathering of people not in this location, but in 1912, they gathered here in this location. So we're coming on to our 114th year. I'm coming up on my 13th anniversary here and having a great time.
Do you own the park itself, or is it owned?
No. This is owned by a nonprofit. We have our own board of directors. We have a faith-based affiliation. We operate ecumenically with a lot of different churches and folks who come here. But we have our own board of directors. We're our own nonprofit 501c3. So
Where is the camp?
now we're located in Sebring, Michigan. Nobody knows where that is, but we always talk about Michigan being shaped like a hand, and there's a portion that looks like a thumb. And we're in the thumb of Michigan, so it's eastern, about mid part of the state. We have a beautiful piece of property right on Saginaw Bay, which is part of Lake Huron, one of the Great Lakes. That's very beautiful. We have a west-facing shore, so we get fantastic sunsets over the water just about every night that the sun is shining. So it's pretty special place.
What are the facilities at the park or the camp?
Yeah, we don't use park in our name, but I would describe the property as park-like. There's plenty of trees, but we lost about 300 trees some years ago to the emerald ash borer invasive species. So we went from being a wooded site to being more park-like with a lot of new tree growth that we've planted. It was very park, but it's very, very advanced for a lot of camp and retreat ministries. We have some really old buildings that go back a century, but a lot of our facilities are very modern, heat, air conditioning. It really is a pretty modern place. It's about, I would say, it's fairly small. I would say our main part of camp here is somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 to 50 acres. And then we have additional property that probably extends our acreage here to about 70 acres.
I understand the camp is open year round. So does that mean that you have dormitories, or are people actually doing winter camping?
Actually, we have really nice accommodations for year-round use. We have what we would call retreat centers, but in those lodges, there are semi-private rooms. 2 to 3 people will share a room with a private bath. It's very hotel-like. Our nicest lodge has a beautiful, great room with kitchen and 13 sleeping rooms. Really nice. And then we have smaller lodge buildings that just have hotel-style lodging. We provide linens and towels and all that for our guests when they come to stay in the winter like this to our retreats. In fact, before we got on this interview, I was listening to our reception who was on the phone with a guest who wanted to come to this upcoming retreat, and we had to tell him it's really sold out. We don't have any more room, but so it's a pretty popular place.
Okay.
In the winter. So
how many people use the facility year round?
I think I calculated this once. I think we probably serve upwards of 20,000 people in any given year, but that we never have that many here at one time. And it's really hard to count, but based on our guest group usage and summer camp here can be 800 kids, 800 to 900 kids in the summer. And then we do some really cool special events, do this really great gospel music convention at the end of August. And there's 1,000 people come to that. And then we host the Christian Motorcyclists Association, the Michigan chapter, and they bring a big crew of people, 300 to 400 people here with their Harleys and Hondas. We have a pretty diverse population. It's just, you just don't see all 20,000 people here at the same time.
What would you describe your ministry as?
Our full name is Bayshore Camp and Family Ministries, and we have a really strong family focus here. In fact, we have a family camp that actually does date back to 1912, still is happening here every summer with about 500 people coming to that. But it largely is a youth and family kind of ministry in the summer. And then the rest of the year, we do primarily adult retreats with a little bit of programming for kids throughout the year. But kids are pretty busy during the school year. They've got other things they're chasing after.
Is this something that a family could just decide, hey, I'd like to spend a weekend up there and make a reservation, or do they have to come as groups?
Yeah, it's really designed. We're not really licensed as a regular open campground. We're an event-based ministry, and families can come to our events when we have them scheduled, but we don't have open camping.
Okay.
We have about 85 campsites. A handful of them are full hookups, and then Most of them have water and electric. There are a few that are electric only, but so we do have events that we fill up our campground. It's just that they are events that we host.
So you're not targeting the weekend travelers. It's going to be a
not at all.
destination. Okay. And because it's open year round, that must mean you need a lot of staff members.
Yeah, we are a volunteer-based ministry for a big part of our summer, and that's really important to us to have a core of volunteers. A lot of the folks who help us with our summer youth camps are volunteers, but on a year-round basis, there's 12 of us who work here year-round. And then in the summer, that kind of grows to about 25 or so, because we're offering full service kitchen and food service to 800 kids in the summer. That takes some people to do some cooking and just to maintain our grounds and to chase after all the needs of kids when they're here at camp. It takes a lot of volunteers to help with that too. We have a core of 3 or 4 guys who just come in and keep the place mowed. And that's their job. And they're volunteers, and they just come and they sit on a mower twice a week to keep the place mowed.
I can imagine with 40 to 50 acres, there's a lot to mow.
Especially with it being a park-like setting. Everything is grassy and everything has to be mowed. And there's times where it has to be done twice a week. So.
Are you only offering the food service during the summer when the kids are in town, or is that something that you're offering year round as well for all of the groups that come?
Yeah, we offer food service year round for our retreat groups. That can be part of their retreat package, is to have food and lodging and a program space to be able to do that. So we offer year-round food service.
Was that something a church would contact you and say, we want to have a women's retreat or something like that, and you would orchestrate it start to finish kind of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We would partner with a local church to help them facilitate whatever they'd like to do here. And some folks come in and they just rent the space, and we provide a place for them to be and to feed them and care for them that way. And they do all of their retreat programming. But then we do some of our own retreat programming where we provide worship leaders and speakers and then the housing and food and all that as well. So
if there was a group that was not necessarily affiliated with a religious organization that was looking for a place to meet, would they be able to come and utilize your services as well?
Certainly.
Okay.
Certainly. We have groups like that all the time who are just looking for a comfortable space apart from the rest of the world. And this is a good place to come and do that. Yep. That happens all the time.
I understand the organization is expanding by adding a new family adventure park nearby your current location. What's this all about?
Yeah, so a few years ago, we were gifted an additional property of 107 acres with a 20-acre lake in it. And we started operating some day camps at that facility. But while we want to continue the day camps, we recognize that families are really just looking for things to do together. And in that space, we're launching, starting in May this year, a family adventure park. And so families can actually come and do all the things that kids do at summer camp. They can do them together. So they can go canoeing and they can have access to our inflatables and they can climb the climbing wall. And so they can go fishing. So they can use that whole facility. They can do archery or a BB gun range, or if they just want to have a birthday party, they can get some space in a picnic shelter and rent that space and come. And so we're really excited about the adventure park. It's a beautiful property with lots of fun things to do. And we're just hoping that families will gravitate towards this really great place to play together. We love seeing families who are playing together, moms and dads, spending time with their kids, sometimes non-traditional families, grandpas and grandmas and their grandkids or whatever, but seeing the family unit play together is just really powerful. And we really need to see more of that in the world today.
I agree. Yeah. Would family reunions be able to utilize the services?
Absolutely. Okay. It'd be a great space for that. And we're willing to work with groups who want to do that sort of thing.
Okay. So the adventure park, will it include an RV park as well?
And not at this time. The zoning in that area won't allow for a developed RV park. We are planning on putting in some or refurbishing. There are actually a few full hookup sites there that we're hoping to be able to use for seasonal volunteers who want to come in and park their RV, spend the summer there, helping us run the adventure park, maybe in our gift shop there or at registration and check-in, or maybe for the more adventurous, learning how to run the climbing wall or archery or the BB gun range. I'm open to anybody who wants to do that kind of stuff. But we have not had a chance to get those seasonal sites up yet, but we will.
Okay.
Probably next year or so.
Where can people get more information about Bayshore Family Camp and its ministry, or even the adventure park?
Yeah, so the best place to go is bayshorecamp.org. And so bayshorecamp.org, and you can see all the stuff about our Bayshore Camp campus. And then there's a link right from that page to our adventure park, which adventure park is called Faith Quest Family Adventure Park. And there's a link right on our Bayshore page that will take them to all the things that are happening at Faith Quest, both the adventure park and the day camps for kids in this area.
Are you funded only by people who are paying to stay at the camp?
Yeah, we rely heavily on gifts and donations to us. That's a significant part of our budget, is people who want to support the ministry and the work we do. And so receiving financial gifts help us out a lot. The day and age of being able to be self-supportive by registration fees would just put the cost of the place outside of what would make it accessible for a lot of families. And we have a policy not to exclude people because they have an inability to pay. We work very hard to make sure that anybody who wants to participate in our ministries has a way to do that.
That's wonderful. If somebody was really interested in supporting families in the Michigan area and wanted to leave a legacy gift to you folks to ensure that would happen, do you have a planned giving option available for folks?
We do have a planned giving option, and they can find that information on our website also in the Get Involved tab. There's a spot there where folks can make a one-time gift just to support the ministry, which is awesome. And then there's options to learn more about legacy giving to the ministry that will just keep on giving. We do have an endowment fund that allows us to invest people's legacy gifts so that this ministry can be funded into forever. So
that's awesome.
Part of the intention of it.
Sounds like a wonderful place. One of these days, I'd like to get up there and check it out. So thank you.
We'd love to have you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you.
Bayshore Family Camp and Ministry has been a cornerstone of faith-based retreats and family camps in Michigan for more than a century. Located on the shores of Lake Huron in the Thumb region of the state, the camp offers a picturesque and peaceful retreat for families, youth groups, and church organizations. While the camp dates back to 1911, its facilities have evolved to include modern accommodations, variety of recreational activities, and year-round programming. Jeff Parsons described how the summer months are dedicated to youth camps and family retreats, while the rest of the year focuses on adult retreats and faith-based events. The camp serves approximately 20,000 guests annually, offering a blend of traditional camping experiences and contemporary lodging. One of Bayshore's most exciting new ventures is the Faith Quest Family Adventure Park, located on a recently acquired 107-acre property with a 20-acre lake. Slated to open in May, the adventure park is designed to give families a chance to experience classic summer camp activities together, from canoeing and archery to climbing walls and inflatables. Jeff emphasized that Bayshore relies heavily on volunteers and donor support to keep its programs affordable. While registration fees cover some expenses, charitable donations help ensure that no family is turned away due to financial hardship. For more information about Bayshore Family Camp and its new adventure park, visit www.bayshorecamp.org. cornerstone.org. Wow, what an inspiring journey today. We explored 2 incredible places where people are making a difference, whether through nurturing honeybee populations at Safe Harbor Farm or creating life-changing family experiences at Bayshore Family Camp. These nonprofits are more than just locations. They're communities of hope, healing, and connection. And that's exactly what Podcasthon is all about, using the power of storytelling to showcase organizations that are changing lives one person at a time. If today's episode resonated with you, consider getting involved. Whether it's through volunteering, donating, or simply sharing stories of these incredible organizations, every action helps sustain their missions. Since the Workamper Show is devoted to helping match work campers with great opportunities, both Safe Harbor Farm and Bayshore Family Camp rely on volunteers to sustain their missions. To learn more about Safe Harbor Farm, visit www.safeharborfarm.org. For information about Bayshore Family Camp, go to www.bayshorecamp.org. Thank you for joining me for this special Podcasthon edition of the Workamper Show. Next time, I'll be speaking with a work camping couple about their life on the road. Until then, keep exploring, keep giving, and keep making a difference. Thanks for listening.